Nakasama natin ngayon dito si House Prosecutor Isabel Maria Zamora dito sa Senado ng Pilipinas. Ma'am, welcome sa Bombo Radio Philippines.
Thank you very much.
Kasama niyo po si Bombo Jaira Hangayo. Unang-una pag-usapan natin, kanina nagkaroon ng manifestation ulit si Attorney Lorna Kapunan sa pagsisimula talaga ng trial dito. Kaugnay pa rin sa stipulation and even sa pag-present ng defense team na kanilang mga dokumento ay hindi nila pinayagan na magkaroon ng comparison dito sa documents sa prosecution and even sa kanila. Ano po yung masasabi natin dito?
Well, ito yung sinasabi namin noon pa, na during that pre-trial, they had the opportunity to compare documents, kung gagamitin ba yung prosecution or defense documents. Sa pre-trial pa lang, ayaw nila mag-mark ng same marking. We were hoping na mangyari to kasi gusto natin pabilisin nga yung proceedings. Nung pre-trial pa lang, sabi nila sarili nilang marking. Ngayon naman nung gagamitin na yung mga dokumento nila, ngayon ayaw nila mag-compare, ayaw nila mag-stipulate, maski iisa lang naman sa totoo lang itong mga dokumentong ito, no? May kopya sila, may kopya kami. Syempre for us, parang delaying tactic yun.
Okay. Kakagaling lang ni Attorney Zamora doon sa loob ng impeachment court. Kumusta yung atmosphere doon, Attorney? Kanina mainit-init yung mga sagutan
correct.
dito ng dalawang panig. Ano po yung observation natin doon sa loob?
Well, of course, nakita natin na nagtatalo yung dalawang lady lawyers. And for us nga, yung cross ni Attorney Ferrer was, has been matapang to say the least. Nakita naman natin ng patience ni Attorney Lorna Kapunan din. Although, of course, naaaliw din tayo sa kanyang mga comments. But for Attorney Ferrer, we're hoping lang na hindi siya makipagtalo doon sa witness. Hindi dapat ginagawa yun. You do not argue with a witness. Kung hindi mo gusto ang sagot ng witness while you are doing your cross-examination, well, yun ang sagot niya. Hindi ka dapat makipagtalo sa kanya. So yun lang ang ating comment.
Isa sa mga highlights din kanina, si Attorney Christine Ferrer said misleading questions are allowed on cross-examination. May mga reaction dito,
Yes.
ating mga listeners and viewers, from a trial procedure standpoint, saan talaga nagtatapos itong permissible leading question at nagsisimula ang misleading question?
Okay. Leading questions. Okay, leading ha. Sinasabi natin yan na sa direct exam, bawal ang leading questions. Ano ba ang leading question? Leading question yung may gusto kang sagot na makuha. So, yung tanong mo, nakapaloob na dun yung sagot. Okay? Kumbaga mag-yes or no na lang. Iko-confirm na lang nung witness yung sinabi sa tanong, no? So, yun ang leading. And bawal yun on direct or redirect. Ngayon sa cross, bawal na bawal ang misleading questions. Ano ang misleading? Misleading is, from the term, mislead mo, may sinasabi ka na hindi naman yun yung binanggit muna ng witness. Kunyari, Madam Witness, sinabi mo kanina, pero sa totoo hindi niya sinabi yun. Yun ang misleading and bawal yun sa cross. Kasi ang cross, kino-confirm mo o chine-check mo yung credibility ng witness based on yung direct testimony niya. So sasabihin mo, kung ikaw ang nagko-cross, Miss Witness, kanina nung direct sinabi mo yung ganito. O, do you confirm that? O, test mo yung credibility niya. Pero kung hindi pala niya sinabi yon, pero pinapakita mo na kunwari sinabi niya yon, yun ang misleading and bawal yon. So, with due respect to Attorney Ferrer, bawal ang misleading sa cross. Nasa rules natin yan.
Hindi ba nga na parang namalilan yung pandinig niya doon? Or parang out of her emotions, sasabi na, yes, they are allowed na pag ganun siya kasi...
Baka she was very emotional. Yes, kasi lahat po ng abogado, alam yun.
Okay. follow-up dyan, attorney, kung ang isang question ay technically leading but based on an inaccurate premise, should the court treat it simply as a leading question or separately address yung misleading premise?
Okay, siguro para hindi mabore siguro ang ating watchers, listeners now, no? This is technical. I want to say lang na, in the impeachment court, in fact, we applaud the presiding officer dahil hindi siya very strict with the rules dahil gusto niyang lumabas ang ebidensya para makita ng senator judges, para makita ng public. And he has been very lenient and lax with a strict application of the rules of court. So, maski na nakita naman natin may objection si Attorney Kapunan na ino-overrule na lang ng presiding officer dahil gusto nga natin lumabas ang ebidensya for both sides to.
Okay. Balikan natin kanina na mention mo yung yes or no lamang na sagutan dito. May naging pagtatalo rin sa paraan ng pagkuha ng sagot sa witness sa inyong legal standpoint hanggang saan maaring i-demand ng counsel na yes or no lang ang sagot ng witness. Kasi sinabi ni Attorney Kapunan kanina, may mga katanungan naman kasi talaga na hindi lamang yes and no yung sagot dito.
That's correct, no? I understand, syempre, usually on cross sasabihin, yes or no lang, di ba? And hindi papayagan ng defense lawyer yung nagko-cross na magbigay ng further explanation. Kasi nga, ang sagot lang na gusto nila yung maiksi, walang explanation. But I hope that the presiding officer and the center judges will allow the witness to explain further dahil mas maintindihan natin ang bagay, yung issue, kung may papaliwanag pa ng mas mabuti ng witness. And this happens even in regular courts, in trial courts.
Now, Day 14, Day 15 saw disputes over documents being shown to the Commission on Audit Witness. Ano yung proper procedure dito, attorney, kapag ginagamit ng counsel ang isang document na hindi pa formally introduced or marked as evidence?
Okay. So, in court, in trial court, of course, we follow the rules strictly, no? So, if there was a pre-marking or pre-trial, we already had the pre-marking of documents. Good yon to speed up the process. And we did that also. We had pre-markings here. But of course, again, no, yung presiding officer has been lenient dahil as much as possible, we want to be able to present the evidence on both sides.
Okay. Sa iba pang usapin dito, attorney, kuha din kami ng inyong reaksyon kasi last week usap-usapin yung arrest ni Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa at nagbigay naman si Vice President Sara Duterte ng komento dito na sabi ng iba na parang ginugulo lang no yung trial dito kasi pinasok yung issue ni Senator de la Rosa. Sabi niya matagal naman ng magulo yung impeachment dahil may bending the law daw. Ano yung komento natin dito?
Well, nakikita naman natin na from the time that the trial started, from the time that pre-trial started, we have been obedient and compliant with the rules, with the orders of the Senate Impeachment Court. Kaya po, I do not think that there's been a bending of the law. Nakita naman natin na active ang defense lawyers, nandyan po sila. And kumbaga, active participation on all parts, including the senator judges and the presiding officer and all of the members of the impeachment court. So, hindi po naman tama na sabihin that there has been a bending of the law in this impeachment process.
Now, sa pagtatapos dito sa ating witness, no, si Commission Audit Auditor Silene Medel Campo, sa susunod na naman na linggo, ano yung aasahan natin sa panibagong witness na ipapresenta ng House Prosecution?
Okay. So, syempre no, medyo nasa umpisang bahagi pa lang tayo ng confidential funds. We will present all of the as much witnesses as we can in relation to confidential funds. Of course, mahaba ang listahan yan, but we will present the best evidence and the best witnesses. para mailabas natin at ang ebidensya at the same time hindi mabore ang public dahil ayaw natin mangyari yon. Gusto natin pati yung mga senator judges na maging active at maging lahat na manood. Okay. Ayaw natin sila mabore dito sa trial na to dahil gusto natin nga makita ng lahat ang ebidensya na hawak po ng prosecution patungkol po do sa impeachable offenses.
Kung titingnan natin dito, Attorney, yung pacing, kumusta naman yung takbo dito? Sa tingin po ninyo, tatagal pa ba ito? Aabutin talaga, matatapos talaga ito? Or nasa timetable pa rin ba yung impeachment court?
Tayo naman po ay nasa timetable natin. In fact, for threats, no, medyo napaaga tayong konti. So, hindi naman namin iprepresenta siguro lahat ng dokumento, lahat ng testigo. In fact, nakita nga natin lately, no, meron mga ginagamit na tables o summaries para nga mapabilis ang identification of documents and pinapayagan naman yun ng impeachment court. So, we will do that as best as we can. Of course, sana yung defense, hindi naman sila mag-delay ng proceedings. And ito, abangan po natin ang bawat testigo at lahat ng ebidensya po na ilalabas ng mga testigo para po mapagtagpi-tagpi natin, makonect natin lahat ito and mapakita natin yung pag-misuse, okay, hindi use, misuse ng confidential funds. So again, babalik tayo sa tanong natin noong umpisa pa lang, bakit ba impeachment? Bakit tayo may impeachment? And ang impeachment is about the fitness of the impeachable officer, in this case, yung Vice President, to continue to remain as the Vice President. So, yung mga ginawa ba niya in relation to the confidential funds, no? Yung pag-certify na tama yung mga dokumentong sinabmit, pag-certify na ginasta ito for confidential purposes, ito ba ay do this amount to betrayal of public trust? Meaning, tinaydor ba niya ang tiwala? Sinira ba niya ang tiwala ng taong bayan? Ngayong lumalabas itong mga ebidensyang ito.
Thank you so much, Attorney. Mga kabang
Thank
Western
you.
Nation, si House Prosecutor Isabel Maria Zamor.